With economic growth faltering, the threat of continued COVID lockdowns, and deep uncertainty about the future compound to create a sense in which people must struggle harder to succeed. But what happens to people if they stop trying? In February 2022, when a censor at the video streaming site Bilibili died from suspected overwork, the company wasn't phased, quickly fulfilling plans to hire another 1,000 censors in the wake of his death. Chinese workers often describe themselves as chives, and the situation where they can be replaced at any time as cutting chives. People refer to themselves as a herb that once cut grows back within a few days. The term 996 describes a work mechanism that is common in China today. It refers to working 6 days a week, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, once said, "I think 996 is a huge blessing, and employees who don't want to work long hours should look elsewhere. We have no shortage of people who can work 8 hours comfortably." As a result, people are faced with a helpless choice: to stop competing and risk falling into the growing ranks of the unemployed, or continue to work hard in an easily replaceable industry and trade their overwork for a position. With the rise of inflation and facing the exhausting and unrewarding rat race, contemporary Chinese youth began to help themselves. The term lying flat began to circulate on Chinese social media. The term is often associated with a young man named Luo Huazhong, who quit his factory job in Sichuan province and moved to rural Tibet, where he believed he could get by working odd jobs because the cost of living was so much lower. In April 2021, he wrote a post on a Baidu forum entitled "Lying Flat is Justice," in which he argued, "I can be like Diogenes, who sleep in his own barrel, taking in the sun." As the term grew in popularity, Chinese state media weighed in with its own criticism. Young people should have positive visions for the future, said a widespread opinion piece by Xinhua on May 20. As long as you are diligent enough, you can still achieve self-realization. The article stirred further debate on social media about whether it's the right attitude for young people to employ. The hashtag, "whether choosing lying flat is shameful," has been reviewed more than 530 million times on Weibo. "I lie down, you infloat. Neither of us is others' business," was one of the most popular comments on a related post. The idea behind lying flat, not overworking, being content with more attainable achievements, and allowing time to unwind, has been praised by many and inspired numerous memes. It has been described as a spiritual movement. In an ever-changing digital world, lying flat is a young person's silent, disappointed, and compromising protest to the involuted society behind them, and a self-protecting mechanism to combat an unfriendly system. In the story of Prometheus, Kafka had made this modification. The gods grew weary, the eagles grew weary, the wound closed wearily. But for today's Chinese youth, they can't wait until the gods and eagles are weary. They are desperate to make a difference, and they can only save their lives by changing themselves first. Perhaps for contemporary China, I would prefer not to of Bartleby's inaction against wars and partitions might be a more appropriate prescription for today's Chinese society.